And my Pisces, let's see what we have for you guys. February 2026. What do we got for Pisces up here? All right. Jeez. Pisces, what do I got for you guys here? I feel like lately, Pisces, you've really been wanting connection, connection, compatibility. I feel like someone to really like be there for you. I don't know if it's like meet you halfway necessarily, but I think you really want someone to show up for you and to be there for you like you've been there for others. Um, and I think this is something you've kind of been craving or really wanting for a very, very long time now. And I think that, leading into February, we're still kind of bringing that energy with us of, that want and that desire to have someone or have something, that's like ours. And it's weird because I feel you guys, you're alone and like, okay, we're alone, whatever. But it's like, and we're comfortable with being alone, but like we have that other desire of like, but you still want somebody that's like yours. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's a possessive thing or how else to really explain it other than that. But it's like, I feel like there's still this desire of like, I need someone to be mine. I need someone to show up for me and be there for me. And, it's like living for me. But I feel like it's a little unrealistic. And I think that, obviously other people on earth, they're not here specifically for other people or like to please other people. It's more so everyone's here doing their own thing. They're all living their own life. And I think that having that mindset and thinking in that way of like I want someone there for me, me, it's kind of not good. It's I feel like it's almost unattainable also, like, we're kinda setting ourselves up for disappointment here with that goal and that mindset to, like, have someone, like, live for us and be there for us, in that way, and I think that that's tough. That's tough, and it's hard to, I think it's hard to even achieve that and to get that, and, I think that this is really coming from a place of emotion, our emotions are kinda ruling this situation or ruling this thinking where we're not, like, thinking logically here, and there's 2 different, ways to think, you're thinking, like, logically and rationally, or you're thinking, like, out of a place of emotion, and we don't ever really wanna lead with our emotions, because emotions are messy and um, you know, while it's important that you understand the emotions you're having, that doesn't mean you need to be making decisions based off of those emotions, right? So it's like when you're in a big situation or a tough spot and you're super, super upset, like you make a rash decision because you're ruling from a place of that upset emotion. And that's not what we want to do. We wanna switch back, go back into, the other side of our brain and start thinking logically and rationally and, like, with facts and science and decisions, and, I think that we kind of Pisces, we kinda trip up in that area a little bit, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm a Pisces, so, I think that we really trip ourselves up in that area where, we come from, more so a place like, definitely in the moment too, a place of emotion, and the emotions, they can be pretty heightened. They can be pretty heightened and hard to navigate when we're feeling like really upset or really lonely and things like that. And, you're kind of just making decisions based off of that. But I think we need to, I think we need to rationalize. Is it rationalize with ourselves a little bit more? I think that's the word I'm looking for. We definitely need to, I think a little clearer in these situations and in these moments this month of just, really understanding that, it's not about us, which I don't know if I'm making sense here, but, um, you know, like, everything's about us, okay? Everyone in the world, like, you're living your life for you. It should be about you, but in some situations, not everything is about you, not every situation, really has to be taken I guess, so big or so out of proportion here where, you're craving this companionship, you're craving this compatibility of being with, somebody, but it's like, again, we have this mindset of like, me, I want someone living for me, living for me. And it's like, oh, it's not about us. Okay. It's not, our companionship and us being with people, like it's not about us, we're living for yourself, for you. It's not the other way around where, people are only existing to please us. And I think that these are two different things here that we should be thinking about where it's like, yes, you can want compatibility and, want someone to be there for you, but, it's not, I don't know, it's not expected, I guess, if that makes sense. We can't really expect that from people. We can't expect, everyone to show up in that way. And I think we really need to focus a lot more heavily on ourselves and on showing up for us in these situations, in these scenarios where we're really searching for that comfort and we're searching for, I don't know what it is, like whether to feel that void of loneliness or, to fill that void of like the lack of companionship. I think we really need to lean more heavily on ourselves this month in filling that void. When you're down and you're feeling like, I really need someone, I need to be there, whatever, like, how can you first take the steps to support yourself? Before we're looking for outside sources, I guess, to make us feel better, or we're looking outside for that companionship to help us feel better, like, what are tools and resources you have available to you in that moment that you can use on yourself? How can you be a resource for you? How can you be a support for you? What are ways that you can show up for you? And that is a big theme in February 2026 for Pisces is you and yourself and showing up in the way that, you want others to be there for you. And I think if we're really able to kind of flip the script and master that, and I think it's gonna take a little while to master that. I would say this still bleeds into March, maybe like 2 months here. But I think if we're really able to master this skill and master this ability of being our own partner and our own company and our own companionship and our own support system, that, going through the future times of like, future relationships or future, fallouts and ups and downs or whatever, like, it's not gonna be as rough. It's not gonna be as hurtful. It's not gonna be as lonely because I think once we're able to really master this skill of, being alone, I think that it's not, I don't know, it's not gonna be as hard. It's not gonna be that big of a deal going forward. And, I think a lot of you guys can relate, having times in the past where you just feel so alone or you feel so lonely, or like nobody's there for you, no one's there, and like how hard and how heartbreaking that is, and just how alone it makes you feel. But I don't think that in the future, if we're able to like kind of take this power back and master this, I don't think in the future, these situations that arise, which they will happen again. I don't think it's going to hurt as bad. I don't think it's going to be as bad. It's kind of like almost like I guess let's look at it as like breakups. You go through your first breakup ever with your first, significant other, your first partner, like, it's devastating. It's so hard, it's so rough, but it's like the next one that happens, then the one after that, and then the one after that, you know what? It's really not as bad. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it hurts. But you know what? I've been through this before. I lived this before. And you know what? I know how to handle this. I know what to expect now. And this is the same type of energy that's going to be, moving with us going forward is I know how to handle this. I've done this before. I played these games before, right? Like I've done this. I know how to do it, and, like, now I'm a master at it, and I can navigate anything that kinda comes my way. So, I think Pisces for you guys this month, let's look inward. Let's focus on ourselves. I think people really they kinda hate on us a little bit about emotions and, Pisces are so emotional and overly this and overly that, and I don't think that's the case. I really don't, but, this month, lean into those emotions, and I think you'll see a lot of answers that you're looking for. So, I wish you guys good luck with that.